All right, independent practice for 2.6, little estimating with percents. All right, so when we have something that's close to this 47, which is close to 50%, I love that because 50% is so easy. You're just cutting it in half. I want to make this 118, make it 120. So 50% of 120 and 50% is just 1/2. So we're looking at about 60. Okay? It's so nice when you get to 50%. You can do that one pretty good. All right. This one's not bad too. 19%. Let's make that 20% of 70. Let's I know that I have a 2 here, so let's bump it up to 80 just for well, you know what? I'm going to take it to 70. Let's see what we got here. It's closer to 70, so we better go there. 20% of 70. So 20% is 20 over 100. I get rid of that. I reduce that to 1/5. 1/5 times 70. And it's 70 divided by 5, which is 14. Okay. So 19% of 72 is about 14. It's kind of fun to know what 10% of something is. So I have 20% of 70. If I wanted 10% of it, of 70, you're just dividing it by 10. So 10%, that small fraction, is just 7. And if I need 20%, so 7 plus 7 is 14. That's a good way to solve it too. If you can get something to what 10% is, and then 10% is always easy to do, because 10% is 1/10. 1/10 of 70 is 70 divided by 10 equals 70. I need 2 10%, so 2 times 7 is 14. Okay? Let's look at 42. If I make this 40%, make that 40%, and I'm going to make that 15. It's pretty close to that. Let's see. So 40% is 40 over 100 divided by 10, and then cut in half. It's 2/5. 2/5 times 15, that's going to be 30 divided by 5, which is about 6. Okay. Let's go to this one. Ooh, 296. I see that and I go right to 300. And then 67%. I might go 70%. 70% is 7/10. 7/10 times 300, and 7 times 300 is 2100. 2100 divided by 10, and I can get rid of this 0 here, so it's pretty much 210 over 1, which is about 210. So 67% of 296 is about 210. All right, let's keep estimating. 24% of 289. I'm going to push this up to 300. I'm going to push this to 25%. 25% is 25 over 100, which is the same as 1/4, because I divide everything by 25. Now 1/4 times 300. So it's going to be 300 divided by 4. Can't really do that in my head, so I'm going to do this right over here. 4, let's see, 7, that's 28. Let's see, that would be 2, 25, so 75. Okay, so if you can't do something in your head like this, you always just do it to the side. It's pretty quick. So approximately 24% of 289 is about 75. Okay. Let's go over here. 67% of 208. I'm going to make this 70%. I'm going to make this 200. Now, 70% is 70 over 100, or 7 tenths times 200 over 1. So 7 times 200 is 1400. 1 times 10 is 10. Divide each side by 10. It gets me 140 over 1, which is 140. About. Okay. Number 7. Penguins spend almost 75% of their lives in the sea. An emperor penguin in the wild has a lifespan of 18 years. But how many years does this penguin spend in the sea? So I'm going to take 75% of, instead of 18, let's make it a 20-year lifespan. So 75% is 75 over 100, which I can divide by, I can actually divide by 25, which is 3/4. So I want 3/4 of, or times, 20. Okay, I can reduce this, divide this by 4, divide this by 4, that gets me 5, that gets me 1, 3 times 5 is 15 over 1, 15. So the lifespan is about 15, oh no, not the lifespan, the lifespan is about 18. How many years does the penguin spend in the sea? So it's about 15 years in the sea. Okay, this is the last one. Nathan's baseball card collection. 58% of the cards are players from the National League. He has 702 baseball cards. About how many baseball cards are players from the National League? Okay, so what I want to find out is about what is 58% of 702. I'm going to make this 700. I'm going to make this 60%. Okay, 60% I know is 60 over 100, which I can get rid of that. Divide by 2, divide by 2. You know what? I'm going to keep that 10. I like it when it's just a 10. So 6 tenths times 700. And 6 times 700, well, 6 times 7 is 42 with 2 zeros. And 10 times 1 is 10. I get rid of these zeros. 420. So about 420 of his cards are National League out of his 702 cards. Okay? Estimating, a little bit tricky, a little bit not quite an exact science. It's all approximate. You're going a little bit up, a little bit down, but it gives you the ballpark about. So hopefully you did pretty well. If you have any questions, come see me. Otherwise, go ahead and go to Extra Practice on page 143 and do 19 through 28. 19 through 28. There's a few problems that you don't have to do, okay? 19 through 28.